Hello, my love. Welcome to Shamanic Heartspace. My name is Nancy, and I'm very happy that you are here. If you're new, welcome. I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Gemini coming in on the 6th of June. I am not an astrologer, but I receive information that I tend to put out every new and full moon. Just hopefully you'll find at least some of it helpful. Please, everybody, do take what resonates and leave what doesn't. As always, not everything is going to resonate all of the time, but it can be very useful to go back and re-listen as the time is passing between each new moon and full moon, because some things will click into place at different times. So I invite you to do that if that feels right to you. So let's get stuck in. Just to warn you, I do tend to yawn when I'm receiving information. So sorry if you feel like you need to yawn along with me. What's really important is for you to see what activations you receive while listening and see what information comes through for you personally, because everybody has gifts and intuition, and what comes through for you personally is going to be the greatest guide for you at any given time. Okay, so just give me a second to connect with the grid. Okay, so this new moon in Gemini on June the 6th is a time to really survey your life and ask yourself what you want to change. It could also be a time where you realize things have changed, and that's not good or bad, it just is. The moon really is asking you to honor your process of transformation, and you can do that best by staying grounded, really staying in your body, moving the body, and being open to receiving any new insights that are coming along for you. There's a lot of lightness and humor to this moon as well, but just also be aware that there is potential for the kind of shadow side of it. It could be feeling nervous energy from the big energy that's around. There could be sort of gossip happening, anything that needs to come to the surface, really. Revelations will be happening for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to start feeling more tuned in, for want of a better word. So, yeah, be aware of that. That can feel a little bit scary and overwhelming sometimes for some people. But I'm here just to reassure you that it's all okay. This is a natural part of our evolution at the moment. So I can see here, just looking back a little, a lot has been shifting, especially during April, since April. So you might want to ask yourself, how are you doing, really? Switching off those distractions for a moment, sitting in present, sitting with yourself. How are you doing? It could be really helpful to journal on that. Take a moment to reflect. Also, have there been any illnesses that have come up specifically in the last 4 years? I know obviously a big thing did happen around 4 years ago to the entire planet, but I'm not really talking about that. But the illnesses can be representative of things clearing from the body, ancestrally, leaving at a cellular level. So if there have been any lingering illnesses, or recurring ones, perhaps looking into that a little more, seeing where that could have come from. Also asking yourself, how has much changed? I'm sure the answer is going to be yes. And like, have you changed, and how much have you changed? And hopefully, just as we pass this moon, you'll be feeling a bit lighter and a bit more positive, possibly before, possibly during, possibly after. So don't worry if you're not feeling lighter yet. It's coming. This is just an opportunity for you to check in, to kind of finish a chapter. Yeah. I don't think we're actually on the same frequency as we were before here on the planet. I think we have kind of hopped up a level or something. What do you think? Do let me know what you think, because you know, I've been able to connect and channel, transmit, whatever you want to call it, forever. You know, since before I could talk, I was doing it with my eyes, apparently. And it started to feel a little bit different recently. And I know that in lots of ways, by the effect it has on my body, on the way I speak, and just a general, there's something different. It feels more elevated. So I'd love to know what you think. Oh, I'm kind of getting a confirmation of that anyway. So I'd love to know how you're experiencing that. All right, so just focusing again. I'm seeing 12 again. I think that came up in the last episode. It's definitely come up somewhere anyway. I'm not schooled in numerology. Anyway, 12. So knowing how I pick up information, I'm going to say the question is, what was going on for you 12 years ago? Life moves in cycles. You may be closing out a cycle. There may be a pattern repeating because you need to close a cycle. Okay, so the intention here is that you receive this as lightly as possible. It's just information. It's not a positive or a negative. This is definitely a high vibrational energy that I'm picking up on. And that's because this greater expansion has arrived. And not everyone is feeling it yet, but everybody will feel it. But I know sometimes we hear these things about change or things coming to the surface, and sometimes people can find that a little bit off-putting. But I just want to remind you that this is all good. It's all natural. It's all homegrown. And to remind you that you can help yourself by not holding on too tightly to things, to ideas, to people, etc. Because in order to move into the next space, what I'm seeing here is like when we move house and we get rid of a lot of stuff because we don't need it, and then we fill up the new place with new stuff. This is what's happening. So anything that's leaving your life is, if it's leaving your life, it's just because it doesn't serve you. And this can come in all shapes and sizes, you know. It can even be with the ego. The ego might be kicking off and telling you all kinds of things. It's just trying to keep you feeling safe. But you are safe. You are safe. All right, so this really feels like a great time to set an intention. Let's do it. Come and see me over on Patreon for a little alignment and a little intention setting ceremony. And seriously, if you want to do that, the details are in the description box. But this feels like a really upbeat, positive, happy new beginning. So as much as you can lean into love, and interesting, especially if that feels challenging at the moment, to feel love and gratitude and compassion and these things, really lean into it. But seeds that you want to sow now will grow quickly. Is what the message I'm getting here. This is a lot of abundance. I see that. I know that because I can see flowers growing. It's beautiful. I can see the sun shining on the earth and all the flowers blooming. Okay, so I'm zooming in on technology here. No surprises, I guess. I mean, I spend a lot of time in the jungle away from technology, so it always feels a bit overwhelming for me these days. But this isn't just technology like computers and phones and things. This is our bodies as technology. Our bodies are amazing piece of kit, piece of technology. So you may feel a lot of chat, a lot of communication with your body, very active in the mind as well. I invite you to not just put everything down to having a busy mind. There are intuitive messages just for you that will want to come through. So try to quieten that down as much as possible. Things like meditation, so on and so forth. And interestingly, on the other side, with the technology such as computers and things, there's also a lot of chat, a lot of noise around those. And it's like that's trying to distract us from our own technology, our homegrown technology. So that feels like a kind of surface level, low level. Well, not that low level actually. Like when there's a big party going on down the street, and you can just hear it in the background. So equally, gossip, blah de blah blah. Try not to get caught into that. It's a very contagious energy that I see people get sucked in before they even blink. But that kind of energy can change your vibration, change your mindset. And what is being asked of us here is to communicate what is in the heart. Clean up and say what needs to be said. And the energy is here to support you in a very loving way. You might get better, results than you expected by just saying what's in your head, saying what's in your heart, but at the same time trying not to have attachment to outcomes. Hey, it's a constant balancing act, huh? So taking the time to make sure that you're clear and focused and aligned so that you know what you want. I think some people are going to feel quite confused through this time. So if that's you, just wait for the clarity to come. It's coming. But I invite you to take some time to sit in silence with yourself, not listening to a podcast, not listening to music, and just listen to your breath. Focus on your breathing. Touch your body. Just see where you are. And then, you can ask yourself those big questions that you don't want to answer and see what comes up. So, there's a big emphasis on that's coming through on this energy cord here, that there's going to be a lot of distractions. And this can be, very activating for the mind. So, equally expelling the excess energy. So moving the body, going out for a walk, going to the gym, swimming, dancing, whatever. And also finding creative ways to express yourself as well. So you can use the voice, but maybe trying something you haven't tried before. So using the hands though, they're an extension of the heart. You might be surprised at what happens when you just kind of stop trying to be perfect and trying to get things like so-called right. Just, drawing a picture, doing a doodle, writing a song, playing an instrument, whatever it is. Kind of channel it by being conscious, being intentional, Like, I have this excess energy that wants to go somewhere, so I'm going to use it to create and see what happens. And then, once you cleared that away, the excess energy, you can access wisdom in a grounded way. So that's with clarity, feeling solid, feeling like you know what direction you want to take next, no? Beautiful. So it's possible that some wounding can come up. Maybe revisiting where you felt like an outsider, ostracized, cast out, where you felt alone, felt separate, and learning to purge and manage those emotions, because maybe things happened to you that hurt you and made you want to be small, right? They did happen, but we can look at that in a different way and we can channel that into something positive. And you can do that by making time for yourself in the stillness once again. And you just let the healing emerge. Nobody else can heal you, only you can heal yourself. And so that can come from honoring those feelings, comforting that inner child, perhaps even, making some kind of altar space dedicated to, your healing journey, your process. And it doesn't have to take a long time, even if you've had these feelings maybe 20, 30, 40 years or more. It doesn't mean it's going to take that long to feel better about them. This can happen in an instant. Just a sudden revelation. It's always a good time for self-care, but this is a really good time for self-care. Maybe even some kind of therapy if you feel like you need that. I'm an advocate of plant medicine, obviously. But yeah, especially if isolation is part of your core wound, the thing that keeps coming up, just feeling alone and like nobody understands, feeling like you never quite fit in, you aren't wanted, you aren't loved or lovable, these kinds of things. This could come to the surface because what is happening now is, as a humanity, as a world, there's going to be a lot more cohesiveness, love being shared. And so we don't need to carry that core wound anymore. But it's up to us first to open up the receptors to receive these new relationships and this new way of being. We need to open those receptors. And we can't do that if we're coming from a place of wounding. Just on that, actually, I'll be back in London in June, and I'm going to be offering a solstice and cacao bomisana ceremony in London. So I've also, all the work I do, Cambo, etc. I'll be doing lots of things while I'm in London. So, check in with me if you feel like any of that could be helpful to you, or if you want to know more about me and my 24 years of working with plant medicines and my weird and wonderful life. Feel free, shamanicheartspace.org, and get in touch, This has been my journey for a long time, the self-love and feeling isolated and all of these things. But actually, it's not true. We're very, very, very well supported, looked after, guided, just by things that we can't see right now. But soon everybody is going to be perceiving this much more clearly. All right. So for some people, you may slip into a little bit of the poor me victim mode. So again, big emphasis on being intentional. You don't want to be a victim, okay? Empower yourself. Don't keep telling yourself the same story if you're the victim in that story. And that may mean, every micro decision you're making, just paying attention to that. What are you putting in your mouth? What words are you saying to yourself? Really, really slow down and look at all of this. It's a kind of like Mercury retrograde vibe to this a little bit, but we do have to slow down and pay attention. It may be helpful to plan your day ahead of doing it, because then that can help you choose your state of being. So when I'm feeling ungrounded, I wouldn't say I'm particularly organized. Other people say I'm organized, but I wouldn't say I was. If I'm feeling ungrounded, I have this notebook where I write down what I'm doing every day, because I can't keep it all in my head. And then it's okay if the plan changes, right? But at least there's kind of a thread to follow for that day. And then you can choose your state of being for that day. You know, how many times are you going to stop and take a couple of deep breaths? Or, you know, are you just going to make yourself unconscious on coffee or junk food? Or are you going to skip the gym today because you're just exhausted, running around in circles, chasing your tail, right? So this isn't about being rigid at all. Flexibility is really important all of the time. It's not like I have to do this and I have to do that and sigh, I'm so tired, you know. Yeah, that's not where I'm trying to send you. I'm not trying to send you anywhere. But this is more kind of like honoring your emotions and saying to yourself, this is what it is. This is how I feel. This is now. This is the present moment. I'm just going to do my best. I am going to get through this. Everything passes. You know, choosing to learn what you need to learn as gracefully as possible, this kind of thing, right? Because, yeah, when this kind of energy that's around, it's possible to like want to give up, to want to bypass, because it just feels so fast. And up there, the energy is trying to lift you up though. So that's why, again, you know, be aware of your state of being. Are you really paying attention to your life, or are you constantly in the phone? Are you constantly thinking about, you know, what you're going to eat for dinner in 9 hours? You know. All right, so I'm going to close this transmission here in a moment. And if you'd like to hear more, then please come over to Patreon and see us, or Spotify subscribers. But I just want to say to you that we can't change the past or other people, but we can choose how we respond. And this is a time of all I can describe it as is a lot of remembering who you are, remembering what your needs are, remembering what your desires are. And, you know, if you can entertain the idea that, is it possible that you chose all of this before you even came to the planet? That it's part of your soul's record, life book, your Akashic records, and empower yourself with that. And that, you know, that brings fun and excitement. It's available. It depends on how you want to use it. Do you want to use it to be anxious and go and hide? Or do you want to use it to elevate yourself? So it depends on you. The power is always in you. So do what you can. I invite you to do what you can to tap into those good feelings within yourself and get the spark and the energy going. Because things are changing. And you are more powerful than you think. It's definitely mind-blowing. But you're also more loved and more important than you think. You are part of this oneness. And, you know, just pay attention to yourself. Treat yourself with so much love and care and respect, like you would a pet or a child, you know? Because a lot of people are on autopilot and repeat. You don't have to do that anymore. It's time you can change that broken record, you know? Keeping your energy clean, Your space is sacred. Your energy is sacred. All right, so just to let you know, it would be lovely then. It would be lovely to have you. I'm going to be having another one of my Bobinsana Dietas happening in June. This will be 10 days of online support and ceremonies with this beautiful and gentle heart healing plant, Bobinsana, that I brought to the West a few years ago, and now she's taken off. And she directed me to put dietas online whenever it was. I can't remember when we started. So you're very welcome to find out more about that. That's also on the website, shamanicheartspace.org. This is very powerful, deeply healing work. And I understand now why I got that message to start bringing the Bobinsana to the West a few years ago, because of what's happening now. And this is fresh, beautiful Bobinsana that I have brewed in the jungle, and I'm bringing back to England to bring more love and connection between people. It really is special. So it'd be lovely to make that connection with you when I'm back in the UK. I think it's starting the 17th of June when I'm back in England. And I send you Bobinsana and I check in with you every day, and we have opening and closing ceremonies, and it's beautiful. Also, I'll be doing my regular energy alignments for the new moon. Will be on the 6th of June while I'm still in Peru. So if you fancy a bit of help and finding out a bit more about what it feels like to be tuned up energetically, come along to that. Very excited to let you know that the next ayahuasca retreat in Peru will be in October 2024. And you're welcome to come as a first timer or experienced. You can book a free call with me to discuss it, or just get on the website and fill out the application form and we can get the ball rolling. Because the earlier you book in, the quicker your healing starts to accelerate, and also the cheaper your flights will be, to be honest. But to see reviews and all of that, maybe I will have put them out on the website and on Instagram. I don't know. I'm not trying. I am definitely not going near technology too much at the moment. But anyway, by now you probably know the deal with ayahuasca and plant medicine, so I don't need to tell you again. You're so welcome here. You're so welcome with me. We're all on a journey together. I do have a text update group as well on Telegram, and an Etsy store and all of this. So blah, blah, blah. Whatever you need, hopefully I can offer you something that's going to be helpful. Things that have helped me and other people, I try to keep them going, sharing them. So I really hope that you found this episode helpful. And do go back and re-listen, as some things may not resonate yet, but will later. I'm going to thank you with my whole heart for being here and listening to me. I hope it made sense. Sometimes it's difficult to explain what I'm experiencing. All I know is that my job is to pass this on and help you remember who you are as you walk this path. And obviously a huge thank you to my Patreon family who make it possible to do these free episodes that are available for everybody. But if you would like more, please, come to Patreon or Spotify, whatever it's called, subscribers. It's just lovely to walk with more people, to be honest. We all need to look out for each other, right? So thanks again. And I send you love from my heart to yours. I wish you all the best for this Gemini moon, however you choose to ride those waves. And I'm sure you're doing better than you think you are. So I hope you can enjoy the ride. I'm Nancy, and this is Shamanic Heartspace. I'll see you soon.